You guys, we are back, and Alyssa's ready. Let's go. And y'all better listen. You wouldn't know that's a trend, and I want to do that with you.
Okay. And we're back.
And you better listen.
You better listen.
Yeah, what she said. Go. Tell them.
Social media platforms, such as Facebook, will transform into, like, massive virtual spaces where you can, like, connect with your friends and communities as if, like, you're in the same room.
Like VR?
Like VR. VR is a huge thing right now. So VR is accelerating. We're gonna need a stronger Wi-Fi than what we have right now. That's what I was explaining.
Why?
And it's gonna be for certain. So what it's doing is it's augmenting more VR spaces for augmented reality, but out in the open world.
So that lady was on to something when she said when the sun goes out, we gonna be plugged up to shit to.
Hey, whoever you were, shout out. Comment in the thing because, girl, you ain't alone. You ain't alone.
There was this girl I was telling Alyssa. There was this girl, and she had gave her opinion on when the sun burns out, and I
said nope. She was listening to me the whole time.
The girl was like, she's like, how would the world mass produce energy to keep the world functioning, lights, all this stuff? And this girl said, well, when the sun goes out, I think they're going to come up with a way to kind of like introduce virtual realities to people to encourage them on some like avatar shit, and they're going to be hooked up with a whole bunch of stuff, and our bodies are going to be producing the energy to. But my question is if so many people get hooked up to this thing, who would really be in the real world enjoying the energy that's being produced off of bodies that aren't working?
So I think it's. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Because you would think that you would have to have a lot of bodies to do what the sun does. The sun crops, farms, it's so much stuff that the sun would do. So it's like, how many bodies would you think that you would need just to push off all this energy? And for all those bodies that are plugged up in a bed on some avatar shit, who's on the real world?
Not like spatially speaking, technically, and like realistically speaking, on like Monsters Inc. type of thing. But for them to come up with the idea of
incubator thingies
of what?
Those incubators.
I think so. I think the other part of the movie scared you. No, I'm talking about the screaming. They have those bars and they look like batteries. And when the little kids scream, it fills up the bar, the battery. So, just recently they were talking about, like, adrenaline and you know what I mean? Like kids who have fear and stuff like that. Like, people who have gone through a lot of trauma or fear and stuff like that, who carry a lot of adrenaline in their blood and stuff like that they're trying to find a way to harvest that kind of stuff. And so that's one of them. That's a whole nother that's a whole nother one. But just as an example, so the one that I was talking about was where'd it go? It was talking about where we'll be able to play with each other, like games, and like we'll be able to connect with people. Like we'll be spending our coin, our money, and stuff like that into a VR. So we could be saying, hey, you want to go sit down at McDonald's together or whatever. Let's just say so, right? You're not even actually sitting down at McDonald's.
You're just like on the toilet or wherever your real body is.
You're just wherever your real body.
Moon, a hole of light through the big top tent up high here before.
You said that he would really be attached on it like that. I don't want my son to be like that. I don't want my son to be like that.
Now your whole segment is telling us how it's gonna be soon.
I don't want my son to be like this. I don't want my son to be like this.
I feel bad because for the generations to come, they're being born into this.
It. Exactly.
When we got just barely out of high school, it was tablets.
Yeah.
Real bad. But we didn't really
mess with that kind of stuff.
It was really, I feel like, our parents.
I got an iPod and the little mini ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so excited when I got one of those ones where you could just like You're able to download your music on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The kids nowadays don't understand that. I still have my Game Boy Advance and my Nintendo Switches and stuff like that to give to my kids. They look at it as if like it's just a piece of trash instead of like an antique.
Like it's an HVS tape.
Yeah,
Vinyl.
I even have a VHS tape still to this day with all the old VHSs to Disney's and all that. And yeah, the kids are like, "Mom, what are you twisting around in that middle part of the VHS, Mom? Oh yeah, you look real dumb."
Oh my god.
Yeah, it'd be like that. So it's like he's very much so. He's very smart. He wants to learn to code his own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want him to be attached and feel like that's his only. Because I feel like once you give them a taste of it, it's bad from there.
Yeah,
Once you give them a taste of that life, of that like VR headset life, they just want it more.
True, but I also feel like as long as he keeps community and keeps friends, hopefully he'll still have a good fighting chance of being like, oh no, so-and-so invited me to go to the game. Oh, my girlfriend wants us to go to, like, he has a life, you know, and hopefully it will be like that. But to what you were saying, are you saying this is the inevitable and we're leading to that path no matter what?
Saying that bigger, they're trying, almost like how Google Maps will go around spinning with its thing, taking pictures and stuff like that, that it's almost going to be like that, to where it's being able to scan and be able to map out a more layout of VR, virtual reality augmented spaces, you know what I mean? And it's going to, it's going to be more widespread, and it's going to be to where it gets more and more accelerated and more accelerated. And like the Li-Fi is gonna have to end up helping it and making it towards faster, and then that's never gonna be fast enough. It's always gonna have to be an up speed, and then to the point to where there's gonna have to be like something that's helping with the speed, you know, because now everyone's gonna be a part of this virtual reality.
You said not?
No, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be more, you know, the more people that are going to be more involved in it, the more now you have more people involving in it. Because now your peoples are going in this, now your peoples are going in that. Now you're losing.
But what is the benefit?
I mean, I could see a good benefit out of learning technology, understanding technology, seeing how far in advance we can go with it, but there's also consequences to everything. How much is too much, and what is enough, and what should be allowed to the public, and what should not be allowed to the public. For instance, people who do have porn addiction issues, do you think this is really going to be something smart to just out to the public, or even little kids who may be able to just have access to? It's not like an app store where you can just go on the phone and you're downloading an app or buying an app off your mom or dad's phone. These kids could literally be, you just look at something with your eye and that's what clicks on the thing.
Oh.
There's so many consequences that could honestly really be shaped into this that I feel like is not, and there's going to be people who are going to completely disagree with me on this, and this is going to be people who are not able to advance their thought process into the future of this, and I just really, or either people who are really dead set into liking it, you know what I mean? Which is like, hey, I'm not recruiting you to not like it, you know, but I'm just pointing out really obvious facts, you know? Too much of fucking water is gonna kill you. So just think about that.
Yeah, that worries me. I think that worries me. I think, like how you said, like, what's too much? I think the way we have video games set up, you would think that it would stop there. Making it towards a virtual reality. A video game is a game.
Yeah.
Virtual reality is basically like they're trying to make it like our realities, and I'm worried because like just as an example, way back in the day when the first mall opened up, people in that way of life, that era, they're like, oh my god, I don't think that anybody would have ever thought how booming a mall got, that it would look the way it looks today.
That's a great example, you know what I mean?
And it's scary. Like, you go to a mall nowadays, if it's not like the biggest mall in the world, or maybe somewhere in Dubai, like a regular hometown mall, dried up like a dead zone. And it's because for one, you know, economy is all shit right now, but all these online stores, just like how you said about that card. There should be more stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, I didn't even think to check out a Walmart or this or that. I'm like, Amazon, Shein, Temu, just to see how stuff progresses. We want, as humans, I think we want fast, and and I think honestly, I'm even scared with ChatGPT, and it's just so many different pockets of this conspiracy corner, and we're on a timed frame, so I won't go into that.
The database from everybody looking stuff up. Imagine worldwide, some of the stuff that is like, that has been, you know what I mean? It's like, ChatGPT and AI, it's pretty scary.
I am scared to see, but at the same time, I feel like
So scary to the point where our pigeons even actually pigeons. Have you seen the documentary on Animal Planet of the animal spies?
And for that, you guys, I think we found our next segment for the next podcast episode. But we do have to close out because Alyssa has to go. No. We do have to close out. But that was a great topic. And honestly, we might need to come back to part 2 for that. Because I feel like I didn't even get to ask all my questions about your
I know.
conspiracy corner. But that was really good. And it just opened my third eye.
Wait.
Bye, guys.
Bye.